I'm Judy Zelina. Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. Today joining us on the program, we have the site administrator from Pennsylvania CareerLink of Erie County, Rick Cornwell. Rick, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here.
Well, I think it's great because CareerLink, some people have heard about it, but not everybody. But what I'd like you to do is to get the word out to the viewers of the different services that you provide for us here in Erie County.
That would be great. We do an awful lot for people in Erie County, and I think we're the best kept secret in the county.
I think you are, quite honestly.
I don't think people realize the types of services they can get and the fact that the services don't cost them anything.
First off, what is the CareerLink and how does it serve our region?
Sure. If you remember the old days when you go to the unemployment office, and I don't know if you ever had that experience, but you would go into the unemployment office,
we all have.
Yeah, you'd wait in the long lines,
right.
And if you were lucky enough to get there before lunch, before the sign went up, we're out to lunch, and then you waited another hour, you got served. And then off to the side there were these little booths where maybe you had a chance to talk to somebody about jobs.
Okay.
They decided to separate these two things out. So the Unemployment Compensation Office is now separate from what they now call one-stop shops across the nation. So in Pennsylvania, we call them CareerLink. That's kind of our branded name for these one-stop shops.
All right.
And the purpose of it was really to help people to look for employment.
Okay.
And there's an act called the Workforce Investment Act, also we call it WIA, how everyone has their acronym. Well, ours is called WIA. And through the Workforce Investment Act, there are monies available to help people that have barriers to find jobs. So we do a lot of different things. We help veterans. We help the people that just come into our doors every day that are looking for a job or looking to improve their job.
That's what I wanted to ask. Do you have to be unemployed to take advantage of your services?
Absolutely not. You do not have to be unemployed. If you're unhappy with your job, and it's funny, I was listening to a radio station on the way in this morning, and they were saying 75 to 90% of the people are unhappy with their jobs.
They should be coming to see you.
If you're looking, there's a lot of jobs on our site. Last I looked, there's 800 jobs in Erie County available right now.
Wow.
So, it's a large variety of different types of positions. There's even professors' positions on our job site. So we can go from professors to welders to there's a lot of nurses' aides, for example, that are needed throughout our region, home health care nurse aides, things like that. So there really is a lot of different opportunities out there for people.
Okay, Rick, what makes your CareerLink different from other conventional employment agencies?
Well, I think number one, it's available for all people.
Okay.
And it's free to them. There's nothing they have to pay. For all the services that we offer, this is completely free to what we call the job seeker. Any individual that walks through our doors are able to get any types of services. They can be triaged, for example. So I like to say, let's look at a day in the life of a job seeker.
Okay, I walk in your doors. What's going to happen?
Walk in the door, you're going to meet this gentleman who, by the way, is 83 years old. His name is Jim.
Okay.
And Jim is going to ask you the first question, are you a veteran?
All right.
And so we like to give priority service to our veterans, so he's going to ask you that first. Once he does that, then he's going to refer you on to the next part of this. And I don't want to make this sound like it's a long, drawn-out process, because it's actually very quick. So then the next thing you're going to do is see our person at our desk, at our main desk, and she's going to have you fill out just a small form, just to kind of know why you're there, what you're looking for, how we can help you.
All right.
And it's kind of a checkbox thing, so it's fairly easy. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to see our triage person for the most part. And our triage person, I know we think of triage as hospitals. We've all watched ER and some of the later ones. I'm probably dating myself on the ER thing at
right,
this point.
It sounds painful, yes.
But they're actually going to be triaged about their job. So what have you done? What does your education look like? What would you really like to do? What kind of services do you need? And then once that is determined, that person then makes referrals for that individual.
Okay.
Okay. So the referral for that day might be to, first of all, get you into what we call our CRC, another acronym, our Career Resource Center. And that is where you go in, and we have a big computer labs, and you can go in there and search for jobs. They're going to set you up with a username, a password, and now you're going to have access to that. And then the nice thing is, not only will you have access when you come into the CareerLink, but anywhere else you go where there's an internet, you can access our job site after that. So even in your own home, you can look for jobs, which is really nice. So we have a Job Gateway, it's called, the name of our program.
Okay.
And Job Gateway pulls in a lot of different I guess you could say, job feeder programs that feed into our computer access, which is really nice. So they're able to really see a lot of different jobs. The other thing that could be done is you might be referred, say, to one of our workshops. We have a lot of different workshops that, again, are free to the folks coming in. One of the main things, I know you and I were talking about this earlier, was how important a resume is.
Oh, so important. And think about it, how you don't really do it that often, so you're not familiar with buzzwords or what someone is looking to read, how they're going to be able to pick that out.
Absolutely.
You guys know how to do that.
We do. And we have some really good professional people that know and understand resume writing. And they're going to teach you how to do that, which is really great. You know, you might be a professional right now that has a master's degree. But I can tell you, I've seen some master's degree resumes. You probably want to take advantage of this service, because you might be really great at something, but it might not be your resume. And, you know, a lot of times employers say, okay, I have these 10 people right here. I'm going to look at these 10 resumes. What catches my eye on that resume? And over time, even how employers look at resumes changes. So now they just want that one pager with those quick points that I can look at and say, this looks like a good candidate. If you have a bad resume, all of a sudden you look at it and say, oh, well, I don't want that one. So now you're already out of the running. So that's that first impression that you make. You know, and speaking of first impressions, it's interesting. I was at the country club down in Meadville, and we had a luncheon going on there, and it had to do with workforce and so forth. And I was just going through the hallway, and I noticed there was a young lady who had come up to the desk at the club. She was looking for a summer job.
Okay.
And I walked by her, and she was dressed well from the waist up. But then she had jeans on and flip-flops, and then she had a gentleman sitting next to her, a younger guy, and his hat was on sideways, and baggy, all that. And of course, me being me, I couldn't just not say anything. So I just
interact. Yes, okay.
So I said, can I give you a piece of advice? I said, I explained who I was, and I said, I really help people find jobs. I said, so when you come into apply for a position, even to get that application, you have to realize how much influence the person on the other side of that desk has. You might say, well, that's just the receptionist. Believe me, receptionists have influence.
Yes, they do.
So how do you look when you walk in? How is your appearance? So I said, lose the jeans, lose the flip-flops, show them you really want this job. And so it really is that first impression, and going back to the resume, sometimes that's your first impression.
Yes, because a lot of companies now, they don't want you to personally come in and fill out an application. They want you to send them a resume.
Absolutely.
Email it or mail it in.
It's very true. Mm-hmm. So then maybe another thing you could be referred to is the interviewing skills class. You know, I had a gentleman call the other day, and he said, you know, Rick, this is my third time I've been through interviews, and I got to the last set of interviews and didn't get the position. I said, well, you know what? Come in, let's talk to our specialist one-on-one here, because we usually do in classes, but let's get a specialist to talk to you one-on-one. And let's talk about the questions that were asked of you and how you responded.
Okay.
Figure out how maybe if you're making a mistake at that third level. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, we did find that, and he has a position today.
Wow. Well, interviewing is so important. It's been a long time since I've interviewed for a job, and things have changed too.
They have. The
questions they ask are different. They're more, don't you think the questions in an interview are more personal now?
They are, and they call it behavioral-based interviewing.
Okay.
Because what we're trying to find out now is, will you fit with my work crew? I'm building a team. How do you fit into my team? Mm-hmm. You might have all these skills, but you're rude to everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, so we want to make sure that the person that we have fits. So a lot of the questions you're going to have now are really going to be questions that, like you say, are personal and are expanding on some of the different situations you may have had in your life.
Exactly. How are you going to react to?
Exactly.
If you're in working and you come across a situation, how will you react?
Yeah.
So it's different.
Stuff.
They didn't ask those things, Ben.
No, they didn't.
Many years ago.
That's right.
Do you have the skills? Okay, you're hired.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And then we have kind of we have something called a job club. And the job club is kind of an extra thing that we're doing now. And basically there's 6 to 8 people in the job club. We'd like to have 8. And these 8 people get together once a week.
Okay.
And the first few times we kind of give them instruction, and we have instructors in there to help them get things started. But ultimately it becomes their job club. And they're collaborating with each other. They're talking about the different places they've applied, what some of the different jobs that are out there, who maybe they've heard of that's hiring, because all 8 of these people are going to have very different interests. And so this is a really great way to really have this thing happen. And I always say our goal of the job club is to work yourself out of the job club, because that means you have a job. So it's really neat.
Okay, so now these members of the job club, they'll sort of like, is it almost like a support group type of a thing?
That's exactly what it is.
Is it?
It's a support group for job seekers.
Okay.
Now, we will get usually people that are looking for higher level positions will come to this, but it doesn't have to be that. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is that if you do have a few people that maybe have had those higher level positions, they can give a lot of tips to the people that haven't had that or are striving to get that. So there's a lot of give and take that happens in these job club. And it's really, really important and really, really effective when these folks all get together. Because you can just imagine we have 8 people with 8 different ranges of experience and techniques on how to do this. And when they start to share this information and start networking.
That's a wealth of information.
It's a wealth of
there.
information.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely is.
And it also helps you, CareerLink too, to know what's going on out there in the workforce also, correct?
It does.
Yeah.
And that's
so it's a win-win situation for everybody. Mm-hmm. Now, what if I come into you and I say, I'm looking for a job, but I don't quite really know what I want to do. I know some things I haven't enjoyed in the work world. Do you help give people some direction?
We do.
And how do you do that?
We have case managers and we have counselors who are professionals who work with people every day. And we have 4 youth counselors that help youth, and then we have our adult and dislocated worker counselors. So you can come in, if you've been dislocated from a job, then right away you're eligible to talk to our case managers. So they're going to sit down with you and they are going to exactly do that. They're going to try to help you get where you want to go. When I was with UPMC Hammett, I used to do a lot of this type of work with our particular employees there.
Okay.
And I'd say, in your heart of hearts, if you had no encumbrances, nothing getting in your way like children or debt or any of those types of things, what would you want to be? And really get into thinking about what kind of career do I want? Because you have to do this every day. Mm-hmm. You have to get up in the morning and say, I want to go to work. Not, oh boy, here I go again.
That's right.
So we really try to encourage them to think a little bit about what they want to do without the barriers. And then we bring the barriers and say, okay, here's your barriers. What can we do for you? And one of the barriers might be money. So through the Workforce Investment Act, we have funding that we can help people get additional education. And I don't want to use the C word, the college word necessarily, although some positions do require that.
Okay.
But many positions don't require that. And so can we get you into any kind of a program that requires, say, only a 2-year degree or requires some type of training that maybe is only a short-term training, like truck driving, for example, is a good example of this.
Okay.
A certain amount of time that takes, and I think it takes about 3 weeks to learn how to drive the truck. And so that's one example of it. Welding, they could go to a school for welding and learn how to weld. Some of our employers are even getting inventive on their own about this, and they're teaching people how to weld right at their facilities. Custom engineering is an example of this on McClellan there. They are actually bringing people in, and they are teaching them how to weld right there because they learn the skills that they need, plus they learn the skills they need for their particular business.
Oh, okay.
So we're seeing more and more employers get involved in that hands-on training right in their facilities to help people. So sometimes we think there's a dead end out there. I don't have any money for going back to school. I don't know if I want to go back to school. And there's all that self-doubt too about, can I go back to school? Right. Well, I was 35 when I first went back to school the first time for my undergrad degree. And I walked onto Edinburgh's campus thinking, boy, can I do this? And I remember the first adult student I met there said to me, so what do you want to get, a 4.0? And of course, I'm just new to this game, and I'm thinking, 4.0, what's he talking about, And he says, on your grades, you want to get a 4.0, a perfect score. I said, I'll be happy to survive.
Let's get real here.
Yeah, let's get real here, Well, fortunately, I did very, very well. And after that first semester, I realized that, it's a lot of effort. You might not think you're the smartest person in the world, but it has a lot to do with effort. So you can do what you want to do.
Right.
You just have to put your mind to it. And the CareerLink can help you find out some of those answers and can provide certain funding for you to get there. Now, the nice thing about CareerLink too is we can refer you to other organizations that can help you too. So let's say I come in,
All right.
I'm all ready, I want to go on the interview, but I don't have any good clothes for that interview.
And that happens. That happens to a lot of people.
It does, because they can't afford it.
Right.
So there's different agencies throughout our region that can help you with that.
All right.
Dress for Success is one.
Okay.
And they're located on West 26th Street, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. But they will help you, I believe it's West 26th Street in Pennsylvania Avenue, I think. They will help people that, if you come into the CareerLink, you want to find an outfit that you can wear to the interview, they'll supply that for you.
That's wonderful.
And then St. Martin Center supplies suits and stuff for men. So, and there's different agencies through, like the Multicultural Resource Center, they can refer you to agencies as well. So there's a lot of different types of agencies. Let's say you're a single mother of 2 children, and yeah, I'd like to get a job, but I can't afford to pay for a babysitter.
There you go. That's a big problem.
It's a big problem. So one of the partners we have in our building is CCIS, and what they will do is they will help individuals with children. If you sign up, they will help you with your fee for childcare.
Oh my gosh.
So all you do is pay a copay.
Oh.
And then once you get on your feet and get established, well, then you can obviously relinquish that and have somebody else take advantage of that service. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of different services that our counselors and our case managers will refer you to help you get you on your way.
Because you've touched on so many fears that people have about getting back into the workforce, the child care, even just helping out with an outfit for the interview. Oh my God, phenomenal. You touched briefly on veterans.
Yes.
And you said they're a priority.
We really appreciate the fact that our veterans have done such great things for us, and they're the reason why we can do what we do every day. We definitely take them for granted.
Yes, we do.
They're just phenomenal people, and they come back from their service that they've done for us in our country with the same needs that we all have with employment. And so we really feel that it's important for our veterans to be able to get that foot up, and we feel they deserve to have that foot up. And so what we do is when we have a career fair, for example, we will open that career fair for the first half hour to an hour, depending on what type of fair it's going to be, to our veterans first.
Oh, wonderful.
So our veterans can get there right away and do that. Okay. The other thing when our veterans, like I said, when they come in, they're going to ask them if they're veterans, and then we have a full-time person that does nothing but veterans. She will meet with the veterans. She actually goes out to the different veterans organizations in our city to talk to vets about getting a job and how we can help them get a job. So they'll receive all the services that everyone else receives, but they're going to get a little bit more because they deserve it.
Yes, they do. Okay, now we've been talking about people coming to you who are looking for a job. Now, what type of services can an employer expect from CareerLink?
Yeah, that's a great question, because in the past, we've been known as we've been known as an organization that really is just trying to help the entry-level employee. And that's really far from the truth. Do we help entry-level employees? Absolutely, we do.
Right.
But we cannot find jobs for our employees without our employers. Our employers are the most important piece of this whole machine, if you want to say it that way. So we really want our employers to be at the table. And what are some things we can do for employers? Well, number one, I can come out and meet with this employer and talk to the employers, and I do that a lot. I can then talk about some of the services that we have. For example, you can post on our website. And we have 2 different ways you can do that. We can do it unassisted, where you just post it. But sometimes the employers don't have time to do that, or they find that sometimes the website can be a little cumbersome for the employer. So what I can do is we can assist them in that. And if they provide certain information, like, for example, the job description and some other information, we can post those for them on our website.
Okay.
Now, that's going to reach obviously thousands of people then. They're going to be able to access this information and be able to look at it. We also do some screening for employers. So if they're looking for an employee and they don't want to have 2,000 people show up at their door, we can do some screening for them.
Oh, all right.
So our professionals can do that for them. We can also offer different services, and by the way, the job postings and so forth are free to the employer. Unless they want some specialized type of thing, then we can do that. And we don't it's not a lot of money. The other thing we have is a great conference center at the Career Link, so they can use our rooms, especially for, we have a lot of smaller businesses in our region, and if they sometimes just need the conference room, say, to do interviews for half a day. We have that available for them. They sometimes want to bring their staff away from their particular arena and do some training. We have a really nice big conference room for that. We also have a big computer lab they can use for that.
Okay.
So there's different services like that we offer, but we also offer a lot of other things. And so it's important for the employers to know that we can do career fairs right at the Career Link, and they've been very successful. For example, UPMC Hammett did one at our facility about a month ago.
All right.
We had 175 people come. They took away 150 job applications, and they were very pleased with the outcome.
Wow.
PNC Bank was there yesterday. Same thing. They had a really good day. They were very pleased with the outcome. Agility Marketing has been there. So we have more and more. And what we found is that these mini career fairs are far more effective than those huge career fairs where people basically are looking to pick up free pens and little gizmos along the way.
So the smaller career fairs, they know exactly what positions they're looking for, the type of individual that they're going to be hiring.
Yes.
Wow, that is a great service.
Yeah, it really is a great service. So it really focuses on a particular population.
I have a question. Do I have to be signed up with CareerLink to be able to access the employer's postings?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do. So it's important for you to do that, and it's a simple step. Plus, you're going to get all these free services when you come in.
Okay. Now, you encourage, I understand, someone to come into your office to meet with you first instead of doing everything online, correct?
We really do.
And where are you located?
We're located at 155 West 8th Street.
All right.
So in Erie, we always say 8th and something. So it's 8th and Sassafras.
All right. Yes, we do. That's pretty much how.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
and it's right across from
Erie
Methodist
GPS,
Towers.
Yeah.
Yes, right across from Methodist Towers. We're at 455-9966 if you want to call.
Okay.
But and you can call, but I would ask that you come in because you're gonna really be able to see what we do there, and you're gonna be able to see our building and meet some of our staff, and I think you'll really be pleased with it.
Okay. And then this way, they can at any time, as long as they have a computer, they don't have to come to your place to access any of the job postings.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. Once they
have their username and password, they're good to go wherever they want to
Okay.
be. And the other neat idea that we're doing right away, and I'll just throw this right in,
Okay.
is we are, with Erie Together, through the United Way, we are coming up with what we call a CareerLink kiosk system. And we're going to start placing kiosks in different parts of the city. So people that do not have computer access at home can go to different places in the city and access a computer.
What a great idea.
That's coming up. Keep your eye open for that.
All right. Well, Rick, really, the whole bottom line to CareerLink and what you're doing is getting people back in the workforce or to better themselves or improve the job that they're in, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you do a wonderful job, and you said it perfect at the beginning. You're the best kept secret. And I've heard of CareerLink. Wasn't really sure of everything that you did. It's absolutely fantastic. I love the idea of the workshops too.
We do a lot with youth too. And I know we didn't get a chance to touch too much on youth, but we do a lot with youth. We have 4 youth counselors, and we have youth counselors throughout the school. So we do a lot with that as well. So youth, come down too. We're glad to have you.
Rick, thank you so much for coming on the program, letting our viewers, giving more of an overview of what CareerLink is all about. I really appreciate it. Again, can you tell our viewers where you're located and the phone number?
Sure. We are located at 155 West 8th Street, right across from Methodist Towers. So 8th and Sass. And the phone number is 455-9966. And we will be happy to see you and happy to talk to you.
Do you have a website?
We do have a website. It's the CWDS website. It's www.cwds.pa.state. I know, I should have brought it with me, and I don't have it in front of me, but if you
we'll have it up on the line.
If you go into your search and you just put Pennsylvania CareerLink, it's going to bring it right up for you.
Okay, that's the easy way.
That's the easy way.
Do a quick search on it.
Yes.
Rick, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate finding out more about CareerLink. And again, viewers, if you have any questions, please feel free to give them a call, visit the website. But most importantly, if you're interested in meeting with someone, please just go down and see what they're all about.
wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.